Oh, sorry for the mess. But yeah, no, because I hear all the allegations about Kendrick potentially beating his wife, and supposedly now there's a website called okliar.com that mimics Kendrick's website, but it's a
Yeah.
parody website with just little bits of proof that he might have actually hired a crisis management team to cover up that story. It still seems like there's nothing concrete. So obviously, like, I don't want to believe it, but I wouldn't put it out of the realms of possibilities. My thing is, this last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it was literally him going through therapy and coming to revelations and healing. And I actually did get to see Whitney's response to that album. She actually had a piece on the album herself where she was saying pretty much like, congratulations, like, you've healed, now we're breaking generational cycles.
I'm proud of you. You broke a generational curse. Say thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Daddy.
So whatever he went through with her, which I'm guessing was sometime in quarantine, he was, really expressing it and trying to heal from it. Again, I'm not justifying domestic violence, but even artists like Chris Brown, XXXTentacion, I know that because of the severity of the crime that is domestic violence, like, there's people that will never be able to find that forgivable. And I totally understand it. Like, we're raised in the society that we are. Everybody tells us you never put your hands on a girl, or, you're pretty much like a trash human being. But in reality, that is like a severe mental health issue that stems somewhere within men. And I do believe that people are capable of like finding healing and becoming better people. Like, the person that X was by the time he died was so different from the person that he was when he was going into jail, and we'd see all these YouTube videos of him in street fights. Like, by the end of his life, he was actually a more, I guess, enlightened individual that was trying to be on positive stuff.
Yeah, man, trying to like teach people about certain spiritual things, trying to have people like to meditate. He was teaching a lot about a lot of things that people wouldn't normally see from X or a rapper talk about. That's why a lot of people would say like X is the Tupac of our generation, if we're being honest. And I could kind of see that
sense, just because of like the impact. Even though X's was like mental health, it was still like he moved a strong influence generation of people in such a rapid, powerful way that like we really haven't seen a shift like that in a long time. And it's interesting, bro, because X was actually recorded by Kendrick Lamar. I remember when X dropped the Sad album. Was it 17? Whatever it was called.
17, yeah.
Okay.
No, it's Sad.
Yeah.
That was question mark.
No, not with Sad. Yeah, we're thinking about 17, the one where he straight up dropping depression tracks.
Yeah.
Kendrick actually tweeted about that album like the day it came out, and he was like raw energy. And I actually just saw a meme today that was like X's skeleton pretty much like overlooking Kendrick writing those bars, like he was on Kendrick's team throughout the
like
battle.
His spirit was in him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. And like there was a bunch of theories like Kendrick might mention the X situation, that Drake maybe had something to do with it.
That would have been crazy. But I had that one in the back of my mind too, because you know all the conspiracy theories about that Drake might have done it to X. I was like, bro, if someone comes out with that would have been the actual career ender. That would have been like, okay, nobody's fucking with Drake now. Like,
yeah, bro. And I feel like,
as far as we know, it's still just a theory. So
yeah, it is a theory. But those bars that Drake mentioned in that Scorpion album, those are very eerie, man. And
they
like,
make him look sketchy. Even on For the Dogs, like, shot him in daylight. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. Like, he's playing a different game right there. And now we see the situation with Drake's home being like shot up as well. There's another situation. Someone tried pulling up to his crib again today, and they got into a fight with the security. We don't know what's going on, but the report is saying like a man just pulled up to his house or something and had a scuffle with security. So I don't know what's going on with this beef, but it's leading into some crazy things.
Well, while Kendrick's getting all these, abusive allegations, which, like I said, like, he's a man in healing. He's always been very introspective in his albums, like looking at himself, and he never paints himself as a perfect person. It's interesting because in Euphoria, everyone's, laughing at the way he's just like, I hate the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress. But on To Pimp a Butterfly, he actually has a song called You, where he's talking to himself and he says like, I fucking hate you, like literally just aiming at himself. So honestly, throughout his career, he's always been very introspective, and he'll pull his own skeletons out of the closet before anyone else can pull them out, and that's the thing. But then when it comes to Drake's allegations, which I'll say, based on what we've seen, what I've actually seen when it comes to this, you know, Drake being a pedo thing, there was a girl that was like 17. He brought her up on stage, and after finding out she's 17, he still kept her up there. He kissed her. He was 23 at the time, so technically it was legal. But obviously, like me, I'm 25 right now. I find that very cringy.
It's still weird, man. Even though like he's 20. And I've seen like also arguments saying that he's Canadian, the age of consent is different over there. It's 16. It's like that perception is still kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, because there was another situation where there was a girl that was 16 and he was holding her, and then it turns out when she turned 18, he was actually going on dates with her. And then even in this recent For the Dog, then even in this recent, and that's, there's picture proof of that situation. And then in this recent For the Dogs album, like at the beginning, he's talking about some, you know, like young 20, 21-year-old girl that he's like, you know, you have potential, but you're still a baby. Pretty much kind of in a grooming fashion. Yeah, and his, you know, reaction even on this last diss that he put out, which wasn't really a diss track, it was a defense track, Heart Part 6. He's pretty much saying like, you know, I'm too famous to do that, and if I did that, I would have been arrested, which was just like very tone deaf. And then he makes fun of Kendrick Lamar kind of for his trauma, which actually had nothing to do with him. It was a situation he explains in a song where his mom had been molested, so she was always so scared that it might have happened to her son that she was always asking him.
Projecting.
But Drake misinterpreted that. Drake misinterpreted that and kind of made fun of him in his own song. But so anyways, I was saying all that to say, like, there's not anything that we could pin on Drake that's like, oh, like he's a pedophile, like he has to be registered as a sex offender. Nothing that's technically illegal or like enough to like really pin him in the ground with that. That's why I think he might still survive this with his career. But there's definitely enough evidence, probably even more so than how people drag Leonardo DiCaprio for being with young ass girls. There's definitely enough stuff out here to say like, okay, Drake's just one of those guys that goes for the very, very young girls, and he might be some kind of groomer personality. So
certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
pedophiles. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of this like war coming to his house is just like super pissed off fans like, yo, like he likes young girls, what? Like,
man, seeping into this, like the reality of this thing, like with now people coming into your house, this is getting actually pretty serious now. And it's like, damn,
when it's beyond rap,
keep going.
My bad. When it's beyond rap, that's when it's definitely not fun anymore. Like it's, you know, because I think the fun thing about it was that it is rap, you know, and some people are like, oh, I miss when it was real beefs, because they would rap about it and then they'd go in the streets, not this pussy shit. Like, nah, to me, I actually enjoy the fact that these are some of the most talented rappers we've ever had in the history of hip-hop, and they're going at it with their bars, and it just stays at that. Like, nobody wants Kendrick or Drake to die or get
we don't
hurt.
need
like,
another Tupac and Biggie situation again.
Yeah,
you know,
that would absolutely be terrible, and like it would destroy everything. It would make the whole beef like not fun anymore, you know what I mean? So it's like,
and like granted, the Tupac and Biggie thing was a great beef, and look what happened at the end result of it. Like, two people ended up dying very young and early into their careers. We missed out a lot of potential on both of those artists, so I'm glad hopefully things don't turn out this way for both of these artists, for Drake and Kendrick, but only time will tell, you know. It's still ongoing. We don't know if Drake is still gonna respond yet, but it seems like everyone's deciding that Kendrick is the unanimous winner.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like anyone who can understand literature beyond the high school level, like Kendrick, he's just on a different level of writing lyric. Oh, sorry for the mess.